This is John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and this is Mail Call Mondays, the show that answers your questions about precision rifles, optics, and equipment. Welcome to another Mail Call Mondays. Hopefully we're actually getting this out on Monday, but if not, I apologize. We had a bunch of projects here in the shop that we were trying to wrap up to clear up the workbench and get set up for Mail Call Mondays. We had a new rig in that allows us to suspend a camera right over top of the workbench, and we were working with that on an AR15 build project, which hopefully we'll get that edited and out in the next couple of weeks for you guys to see. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the project that we built, and that is this rifle right here. Now this is a pretty average AR-15. We usually don't do AR-15 builds. We try to stay more towards the precision oriented rifles. So we'll do the large frame ARs. We may do an actual precision AR-15 build in the future, but I wanted to talk about this right here. Most of you guys know that we went up to the Oregon Sniper Challenge earlier at the end of, well, middle last month, and my father accompanied me on that trip because it's actually 1,980 miles one way from here in southern Indiana to Oregon. So we did almost 4,000 miles round trip in a couple of days, and it gave us a good deal of time to discuss things. Now, while we were up there at the Oregon Sniper Challenge, the Friday before the challenge is actually a sponsor day, and a couple of different companies brought out their wares and had some ammo for us to burn. And that was a chance for my dad to shoot an AR-15. Now, he is a veteran. But in the Air Force, they don't do a whole lot of M16 qualification, and he was an officer in the Air Force, so he really didn't get a chance to work with the M16 while he was in service. So it was a good chance for him to actually get some trigger time on an AR. And he caught the bug, and I think he caught the bug pretty bad, and really wanted an AR. So we started talking about what he wanted, what he intended to use the rifle for. And we kind of discussed varying different options. And by the end of the trip, he decided that instead of buying one off the rack that may or may not do what he wanted a custom built AR. So I went ahead and built this one up for him. This rifle is not anything crazy, it's not anything wild. Overall, the entire rifle, with the exception of the optic, runs right around $1,500 to $1,600. That's right about what we decided the price point was going to be. I purchased all the parts on the rifle, so you know it's not one of those where we went around and begged different manufacturers for parts. So we skated that price versus quality line. And what I came up with here was, I think, a rifle that's going to work well for his intended purpose, which was to be a home defense rifle slash plinking rifle, something he could take out and have some fun with, and still stretch out and do a little bit of precision shooting if he wants to put a magnified optic on here. So overall, let's talk about the parts that I chose and how we decided to put this thing together. First of all, let's talk about the receiver set. The upper and lower receiver on this is a Rainier Arms forged lower. It's their Gator lower, so it has this this little kind of crosshatch pattern at the front. Other than that, it is a pretty standard forged lower receiver. It is the same high quality that we've come to know from Mega on their billet receivers, but really it is just a no frills, good to go receiver set. The upper, same thing, it's just a standard forged upper receiver, very well machined, very well coated. The anodizing was absolutely perfect on both the upper and lower. I didn't see any spots where there was any strange things going on in the anodizing, and the fit from the upper to lower is just absolutely great. It was a little bit tight trying to fit it together just by hand before I got the rifle assembled. Now that it's assembled and the attachments give you a little bit more leverage, it's really easy to put it together, but there's really no perceptible upper to lower wiggle on it. So really great finish there. And they do include a pin that goes in through the bottom of the grip that will allow you to tighten up the upper to lower fit if for some reason at some point it becomes a little sloppy, or if you're using a non-mega upper receiver, then you can go ahead and tighten that fit up a little bit. But we didn't even install the pin in this case because it really is not needed. The lockup is really nice and tight. The lower parts kit is a standard JP lower parts kit minus fire control group, and the trigger that we're using is a Timney trigger. I haven't got the gauge on here yet to see what the pull weight is, but it's a very nice, clean, short pull and a very short reset. So when we get out and we start doing some drills with it, it should function very well. We have Rainier Arms trigger guard down here, just to give it a little bit more style, just to open up the trigger guard area a little bit if you happen to be wearing gloves at some point, but mainly because it fills this gap down here at the bottom and you don't get that wear on your second finger knuckle from riding high on the pistol grip. So really nice options there. We used a Rainier Arms bolt carrier group. Went together just fine. A really high quality bolt carrier group. That won't be the last time that I use one of the Rainier Arms chrome bolt carrier groups. One with the chrome just because I think it'll clean up a little bit easier than the standard Parkerized bolt carrier group. And if it wipes down a little bit easier, saves my dad a little bit of time cleaning the rifle up, then, you know, so be it. We use the Magpul Mo buttstock because really he wants to be able to change that length of pull, and I wanted to give him something that would lock up tight. We could have gone a little cheaper and gone with one of the Mo's or one of their new buttstocks like the SL that would save a little bit of weight, but they don't lock up quite as tightly as the CTR. So the CTR is what we went with. It'll allow him to set the length of pull wherever he wants it. He's got a little bit longer arms. He's just a little bit taller than I am. And he likes to shoot more of an Olympic style offhand than squared up to the target like I do. So this really helps him to dial that in. We went with a Mega Arms. This is actually a Rainier branded Mega Arms slide lock charging handle. And this thing is great. It's ambidextrous, so you can get it from either side. And the neat thing is there are no latches. There's nothing moving to pinch you. You just have this one latch on this side. That's the only moving part on the whole deal to lock and unlock it. So there really shouldn't be any failure points at all on it. I was really happy to see this come out. I can't wait to get one of the large frame charging handles to put on our Mega Arms builds. I will probably switch everything over to these charging handles when they're available. The selector, we went ahead and ran just a regular standard selector on this. I may switch him over to something like a Battle Arms selector, but I'm really not quite sure what he likes at this point and if he's going to be running any ambidextrous type drills or any support side drills. So that's something that's easy to switch out later on if we decide to do that. One with the Magpul Mo grip, just because his hands are about the same size as mine, maybe just a little bit larger, and I think this grip will give him about the perfect reach to the trigger. And no reason to go with a Miad because the Mo gets it done without the extra pieces. And you have the neat little trap door so you can put Allen wrenches or whatever else to adjust anything on the rifle in there. So that's pretty standard back here. Going forward, I took this as a chance to give a try on the new, well, not new, they've been out for a while, but the Fortis Manufacturing forends. This is a rifle length or a 12-inch forend. It's key mod on the sides and on the bottom, and then we have a standard rail on the top. It is free floating, and it gives me 4 QD mounting points on here. And then we have the QD mounting points on the back, and I did use a Fortis plate to put the stock on, so we can actually have a ton of options to set him up with a sling later on when we get into taking him out and doing some drills out at the range. I was really impressed with the machining on the Fortis rail. It's really got a nice feel to it. It is lightweight, which was one of the goals. I wanted to keep this rifle fairly light so that he doesn't have any problems throwing it around. I didn't want to give him a 13-pound AR for his first AR and have him try to deal with that weight while learning to get it up on target quickly. So we went with an overall lightweight scheme. Now the barrel that you see in here, this is a Rainier Arms Select barrel. It's a 16-inch barrel and it's their MedCon profile, so medium contour, and it is a mid-length gas system. So we get pretty much the best benefits of everything. It is 416 stainless steel. It's 5R rifling in it. It's a 1-in-8 twist and is chambered in 5.56 NATO. Now, the really nice thing about the Rainier Select barrels is they do come with a guarantee, so if they don't shoot minute angle or better, you can return them and get your money back. And I thought that was a really great option. We've used Rainier Select barrels on our 308 builds before, so I wanted to give it a try on the AR build here, because again, my father wanted to be able to do some more precision shooting if he decides to swap a higher magnification scope on here. And this barrel, if it works as advertised, should allow us to throw a bipod on the front of the gun, magnified optic on top, and be able to use it as an intermediate range precision rig as well. So we're really looking forward to seeing what kind of accuracy we get out of here. And the barrel weight is really nice. Obviously it's not as light as say a pencil barrel. It's a little bit heavier than a government profile. But with the lightweight Fortis rail on here, it just really makes a well-balanced package overall. The gas block that we used, we went with an SLR Rifle Works Sentry gas block. It is one of the set screw mount gas blocks, and the Rainier Arms barrel already comes dimpled for the rear set screw in the block. So it's really nice. You don't have to worry about trying to get everything lined up. You just slide the Sentry block on and you tighten that set screw and it centers everything up. Now going up front here, you'll notice that we're running a birdcage flash suppressor, and that's going to baffle a lot of people. Why are we running pretty much a full custom gun with a birdcage? The simple solution is that while we were in Oregon, my father got a chance to try Gemtech bilock suppressors, and he really liked how the bilock system worked. And he wants me to put a bilock mount on here. I would normally go with one of their brakes, but they are out of stock right now. So to get this gun set up and to get him out and shooting, I just went ahead and dropped a birdcage on here. I've got a bunch of A2 flash suppressors laying around. So went ahead and screwed one on to actually get him out and get him to the range. It will not have the recoil mitigation that a good brake has, but in this kind of system, I don't think it's really going to be a deal breaker. One thing that I did neglect to mention, the system that we're running back here, we are running a carbine spring and an H1 buffer. This was part of Rainier Arms receiver extension kit. So you could just purchase the receiver extension kit, which came with the extension, the castle nut, lock plate, operating spring, and the buffer for a really reasonable price when you purchase a buttstock as well. So we went ahead and tossed that in there, and now we're good to go. And of course I got him a Magpul Mo magazine to start him off. So overall, I think this is going to work really well as his first AR-15. I think it's going to give him a chance to get out and have some fun. I just dropped a Vortex Strike Fire scope on here with the Vortex mount, because this will give him a good feel for what a one power dot sight can do for him. I think he's probably going to go with a low magnification variable though, and then for precision shooting, a higher magnification variable. So overall, I'm really happy with the way it came out just sitting here in the shop. Hopefully in the next day or two, I will get it out to the range and do some function testing, set the adjustable gas block to where it needs to be, and then we're gonna shoot it and see what kind of accuracy we can get out of the Rainier Arms Select barrel. I'm sure I can scare up some gold medal match 223 around here somewhere, and we'll see how well it shoots that. So that is about it on the rifle I built for my father. I think this is going to be a really great setup. I'm excited about it. Seeing how it came out, I may have to build another one just for me, one that I can leave with Sarah and that she can take out and shoot it, because it is really a nice feel to it. I think this will work great as a general purpose or as a LE patrol rifle. So again, really happy with the overall results. If you guys have any questions on it, please leave them in the comment section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. So that's enough about that rig. Now let's talk about this guy sitting right here. This is the Modular Driven Technologies HS3 chassis. Now, some of you guys recognized it before. We did an intro before the SHOT Show, just kind of going over what the chassis offered. Well, we have now got it mounted up in the rifle, and I kind of wanted to do an update on it because really we've been lagging behind, and the MDT guys have been wondering what we're doing with it. We should have the review video on this guy coming up here really soon, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. And overall, I'm really impressed with this chassis. It gives us all the options that a full-length chassis will give you versus the LSS chassis, which is kind of an abbreviated deal. It is designed straight out of the box to be able to do standard buttstocks. So you can use a Magpul PRS buttstock if you want, or you can use one of the MDT skeleton stocks like we have here. And really overall, you got some great options here. Now, generally, there is not a whole lot going on with this stock. The action bolted right into it. The one problem that we have is it won't take really massive recoil lugs like the PTG recoil lugs. So it took us a little while to get an action dropped in here. Other than that though, if you're running a stock with Remington recoil lug, you're good to go. It's going to carry some pretty heavy barrel diameters, so if you're running a really Mongo telephone pole barrel, really you should be good to go. As you can see, we're running about AR height scope rings on this thing, and the cheek pad or the adjustable comb on this is great. It will get you exactly where you need to go. And the buttstock's got a nice cushy recoil pad. You can go up or down for your height on your butt pad, and you can actually adjust the cant on the butt pad. So if you're trying to dial your natural cant into the rifle, you can do that. The bipod that we got on here right now is just a standard Harris 6-9 bipod. You can put rails on the bottom of here, and it'll accept Mo rails, Magpul Mo rails. So you can drop a rail on, and you can screw, or you can put on a QD bipod, a rail attached bipod, and you'll be good to go as far as that goes. But it comes with a stud right out of the box, so we went ahead and just put a regular Harris 6-9 on there. We've got quite a few different color options for these side panels, and they're actually quick to swap the side panels on and off. You got quite a few screws here, but if you want to change colors later on, you can pop them off, or if you want to take them off to paint or something like that, you're good to go. And of course, you can put whatever pistol grip you want on there. The trigger guard, it's got lots of room. It's big and beefy, and the magazines release easily. And of course, these are MDT's polymer magazines, and they go in, lock in just fine. There's no problems with them being overly tight like we've seen in some of the other chassis with the MDT mags. So that's a general overview on the HS3. I wanted to show you guys that we do actually have it mounted up. If you've got any detailed questions on it, again, leave them in the comment section below or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter. I know this is kind of an abbreviated Mail Call Mondays. It's not so much a question and answer as this is what's going on here. I'm sorry for that. Again, we're trying to get caught up on some projects, and we should have some video on some other things rolling out for you here real soon. If you got any questions or comments overall on the whole show, please leave them in the comments section below or send them to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you like the show, make sure you give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot.